task for the lower. Yo, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to give my thoughts real quick on the Project Rebalance. It's going to be like a pretty simple, short video, giving some feedback on like all the things that were changed. There were some good things, there were some not so good things, some things that could be done a lot better, I think. So hopefully Jagex is not afraid to like change around some things, because I do think this Project Rebalance, or like, I mean, you can call it a rebalance, you can call it like just straight up buffs, whatever you want. I'm not here to like hate on the update. I think it is needed at some point, because some skills, especially mining, is just not that great. So I'll just go over the things real quick. Like all the agility things, I don't really have an issue with. Like, it is kind of weird to me still that like all the things do get buffed without actually changing like any mechanics to the course. It's just like higher XP per hour, but it makes sense to like make the spread a little better, because Sepulchre is just basically too high XP per hour, meaning that all the rooftops feel like kind of bad to do, but to like balance things out, the rooftops get a little bit higher. So it makes sense why they do this and have a little bit more variety, like from like level 60 to 90. So no issues with this, all good. The marks, they do feel a little weird on like Dorgescan, Werewolf, on Apedol. Like the marks of grace are kind of just a weird item in general. Like, what is a mark of grace? Who places the marks of grace on the roofs? And does that person also have the ability to change in a monkey like ninja? Or has the Ring of Carols to like access the werewolf course? It feels a little off. Same with the barbarian one. It's also like, is this person now part of the barbarian like group? Did they complete the bar crawl to get in there? Whatever, it doesn't really matter, just a little lore like is missing, but I think that's just like a mark of grace. It's just a old school RuneScape 2013 moment, so yeah, whatever. Shortcuts, sure. There was some funny stuff with this one that got fixed right away. I do think it's weird that a shortcut that is like that long is like 2 ticks. Like, I don't really like the 15 ticks like shortcuts for the Hydra one, but 5 or 6 ticks would have been perfectly fine, and then the XP would like remain at 25, but I just don't understand why a shortcut is like 2 ticks long. Whatever. Yeah, more shortcut, sure. It's all good. The nature rune one is actually quite like cool to see. I don't really understand the shortcut. Like, I'm not sure if it was intended for nature rune crafting, because if they wanted to have like better access to Shiloh Village from the fairy ring, that's what I heard people say. Like, why not have the shortcut like towards the southwest of the Shiloh Village? But I don't know, it's a pretty like cool new way to craft some nature runes. Then we have Brimhaven. Yeah, Brimhaven is bugged currently, I think. I hope at least, because the XP at 99 is like 55k an hour, and it used to be 70k at least. So hopefully when they fix the scaling when you get a agility ticket, like here, and also like the 2 pillars in a row like thing being removed created a weird like world hop method that is like 170 tickets per hour or something. So I think that was in place for a reason. So I think that should be reintroduced, and then just fix the scaling when tagging the dispenser, because now that only gives like 27 XP at 99, and it should probably give like 270, because they removed the scaling XP from the tickets. So maybe an oversight, I'm not sure, but I think it should be fixed, because like Brimhaven should be like 85k an hour at 99, because it is way more effort than RD. Yeah, it should just like sit in between Sepulchre and RD, in my opinion. Then we have some Slayer changes that they made. Overall, like, decent. I mean, you guys probably know that I made a Slayer rework, which is, I think it's better than just doing this, but if they want to only focus on low-level Slayer for now, that is perfectly fine. I do think they missed something quite like important with this. They should increase the points given per task for the lower Slayer Masters. I think Mashna, or however you pronounce it, only gives 2 points per Slayer task, and Venica gives 4, and then it jumps up to like 8, I think, or 10 at Sheoldar. So I think like upping Venica and Masha is definitely good for like early game Slayer to get some more points on the board, to block some stuff, to skip some stuff. So, but this overall, like removing all this, pretty good change. Don't hate on that. Thieving, not really too many issues with. Like mining is the one that I'm going to be talking about the most. But I think Sebe also mentioned this in this video. I watched this like right before I started making this video. But like the stalls, like why are they still very slow to respawn? Just like they improved the respawn timers, but like you shouldn't have to hop world still for most of the ones. Like especially like the gem and the ore ones, I think that are these are like still pretty bad. So I think inventory stall. Where is it? Yeah, just like lower the XP and like make this like not rely on world hopping, in my opinion. That would be great. And I guess the pickpocketing, I haven't really heard too much about this. It doesn't really matter. Pickpocketing is quite like dull anyway, so kind of whatever. But then we have mining. Here is where my biggest issue lie. And no, don't start like freaking out. Like, oh, those want us to have like good mining. I just don't understand. Like I do think mining needs like a rework similar to this, but why tie it behind the stupid blocks? Like why can't we just have like mining work like this already? Like most of the ores, especially like the normal ores, and like rebalance respawn rates, address like XP rates for gold, mithril, adamant, maybe even rune to make that more viable. But why does it need to be on the gloves? Because now you still have the gloves working on granite and sandstone, and this actually like widens the gap between like normal mining and like granite and sandstone mining. Like does JKX just have something against normal mining in like the overworld? Like, I don't understand how they came up with this idea, and I thought it was a good idea. Like I think it's just way better if you just have all the rocks instants for players. So you can also basically give like a forestry treatment without the events, of course, to mining. I think that is just a much smoother way to also have like players pre-level 60 benefit from this, because you need a level 60 to get into mining guilds, then get the gloves. And then you still have to like mine for quite a while to get the gloves actually for the minerals. So make mining like actually like rebalance mining, like the core skill, rebalance that instead of just like making this weird change to the gloves that just make mining okay now. But why can't mining just be okay on its own? Like that. It leaves me actually just almost speechless how this happened. But and then the gloves can do like something else. So for example, let's say a gold ore has now a much higher success rate, like I don't know, like 2 times. I think that makes it like 80k an hour according to Mr. Sebe. And then have like a gold ore have a timer, or maybe a because we also have like all these veins, like mining places that already do this, but regular rocks just need to be like shit still without these gloves. And the mining gloves also don't do anything on veins, I think. So it would be cool if like the normal rocks just had a respawn or increased respawn rates, and then just also multiple rocks per multiple ores per rock. Of course, you need to like balance that, but I'm not gonna like get into the numbers like too deep right now. But that would be a much nicer change, and then the gloves can like do some like little extra to make it even like more AFK, or provide some like other benefit to having the gloves, and not just like buff the mining skill to the fucking moon like with these gloves only. Like whatever. And then like Model of Mine could also benefit from the gloves, like maybe the gloves add like another 5 seconds or something to the veins on the upper floor being depleted, and like another like 8 seconds or whatever on the lower floor. That would be a lot nicer, I think, to have the gloves work for all mining activities. Solo VM, well, the model of Mindbug is kind of just whatever. It's, yeah, I don't know. I don't really mind it, but on the other hand, like you make model of mine, like again, the superior way of just like trading mining if you don't really address the rebalances of the regular ores. Solo VM, sure, making teams, making friends sometimes can be hard, and having to like study a like 73 pages to learn all the rules in VM can be off-putting, so I don't mind this. This is pretty nice. Blast Mine finally got some love. I do like this as well, all the changes that they made here. Even though like 10% and then 10% and everything just adds up, and then it's like almost like 30% better, so maybe a little on the high side, but I guess it competes with VM now, so that is somewhat good. And then we have Saltgado. I don't know what they were smoking with this one either. Like, why was the one down introduced? Like, the masses were just like insane. I think people got like 70, 80k an hour while it's at 50k, and the boss just died in like fucking 2 ticks or whatever. So sometimes people didn't even get enough contribution because they like hit a 0. I'm not sure how to fix this, but this seems like they need to like look at again. Yeah, hopefully this can be because it also just made the boss like completing the collection log saved like 80 hours or something from the boss or whatever. So yeah, it seems like a little of an oversight and probably not enough like resources to test this themselves. They probably went in with like QA testing with like 4 people and said like, okay, this works well, but then when 50 people mine it, then you get some strange stuff happening. So, and then we have some miscellaneous stuff. I don't think there's too much like to read into here. Yeah, seems somewhat fine. I don't know. Not sure what the rates are on the live roll activity, but haven't really seen anybody do this. I don't think it's gonna be too broken. Kind of nice to have some activity in Genghis Khan again. Cool city. So yeah, that was everything from the rebalance that I wanted to talk about, like the mage training arena things, whatever. But there was some other changes as well. Let me find it. Oh yeah, the Cannabis Meat Shop, Sawmill Shop, Biscuitis General Shop have now Ironman UAM and Group Ironman variants, but they didn't really fix grains with this. I'm not sure if they wanted to fix grains, but like where you can buy the blanks from your alt in the Morton Builder shop, but again, like if they make the shop separate for grains, then you need to increase the blank stock in the shop. So otherwise you would have to like hop 5-6 times to even fill up your inventory with blanks, because there's only 10 stock there. So if they make the stock like 100 or something and have it like restock relatively quickly, so you don't have to like hop worlds, like the hopping worlds thing just needs to be like, doesn't need to be in the game anymore. Like hop worlds to have like skill and medicine.
short episode, I figured we could just go right out of the gate and show you something very cool. And what you're looking at here is a little bit of proof behind the bonus areas that are underground in Super Mario Brothers. Thanks to Nekarun, who I'll leave a link to in the description down below, we were able to disable the boundaries in almost all the areas of Super Mario Brothers. What it reveals down here is that all the bonus areas are connected together. They're all on one map, and if you had the Game Genie code to phase through walls, you could theoretically warp to completely different stages by going through the pipes designated to these specific bonus areas. However, once you get past the very last bonus room, you will not find anything, not even glitches. Instead, Mario just runs infinitely into the void. So you may have noticed that this episode is called Mario/Duck Hunt and not Super Mario Brothers. And there's a very good reason for that, because we actually want to talk about Duck Hunt in this episode. And the Mario/Duck Hunt cartridge is technically one game. Now there isn't much to say about Duck Hunt, I mean there's so little to say about it. But one of the most interesting things that I found here is that if we disable the layer that has the grass and environment, we can actually see the full sprite model for the Duck Hunt dog. And as it turns out, his body actually goes a little further down than the blades of grass suggest, which actually acts as a complete model, minus his feet. And before we say goodbye to Duck Hunt entirely and just make the rest of this entirely dedicated to Super Mario Brothers, I also wanted to show off when the Duck Hunt dog jumps behind the grass at the start of every round, you can actually see that his sprite model flashes white on the very last frame of animation. So the shocking show stealer is actually the piranha plants. These guys are exceptionally interesting because of what they do behind the pipes. As you'll see here, when you're away from the pipe, piranhas disappear at the start of the animation and then reappear as they come back up through the pipe. However, if Mario is standing right next to the pipe, the piranhas actually exist in the game the entire time and never disappear until Mario moves away. But by far the most bizarre thing about all of this is that if Mario kills a piranha plant with a fire power, that piranha plant will be split in half, with its bottom half facing down and its upper half severed and above it. And that piranha will not go away at any time. Another thing that's really interesting too about the piranha plant is that when Mario leaves an underground area, and as you know, a piranha plant will be heading up as you move towards the flagpole, Mario actually touches the piranha plant as he moves through the pipe. Now here's something that requires a long explanation, but I promise you it's very interesting. So at the end of every single level in Super Mario Brothers, you might notice that Mario goes inside the castle and then the flag comes up. Well, what if I told you that Mario is actually still in the game even when he quote-unquote goes inside the castle? In fact, he doesn't just stand inside the castle, he's walking inside the castle. Well, what if I also told you that the reason why he's using this animation is because if there wasn't a boundary in front of Mario's way, he would just continue walking. Nah, don't believe me? When Mario jumps over the flagpole and he doesn't activate the stage completion, you might actually notice that he's able to sit on top of a brick block. And if you walk at it from different angles, he also cannot move. This is because this is one portion of this castle model that is an actual brick block, and not the castle itself. And in fact, I can even prove this by sliding underneath the stage and breaking the block that's actually connected to this castle. Once you break the block, you can actually see the blue sky backdrop that's part of the game. Now the question is, what happens when Mario completes a stage without this block here? Now I had to be a little bit creative here because if I was to break that block, it's very likely that I would break the ground underneath it as well, because those are also blocks that can be broken. So what I did was I broke enough ground in front of the flagpole to give me a large enough runway to use the Game Genie phase through code, slide through the ground in a sitting position, and as I just get under the block that's connected to the castle, I then jump and break that one block only. Then I complete the stage, and then we can see what happens. And as it turns out, Mario just keeps walking indefinitely and doesn't move on to the next stage. Speaking of walking indefinitely, probably a lot of you have already seen this because you can jump over the flagpole by legitimate means. And what I'm talking about here is what is beyond the castle if you're able to get beyond the flagpole. And a lot of people will just tell you that there's nothing out here, you'll just keep walking indefinitely.
Let's go. Let's go to space. Let's go to space.
Hello there. Welcome to episode 48 of an ongoing series where we basically take the camera anywhere we go, and we try to find secrets and new discoveries to some of our favorite games. You guys have been suggesting Portal 2 for a very long time, and I figure we should just give up on copying WoW games and give you what you want. So, with that said, let's get going. You know, you always gotta love a boundary break episode that just works right off the bat. Here at the very start of the game, we see ourselves going outside of this mock-up room that Shell has to stay inside for I have no idea how much time. But as you can see on the outside here, it says error. Now, the funny
shader combination stutter on my end. Side note, it's kind of terrifying just deleting random program files on my computer.
back in.
Shader compilation stutter on my end. Side note, it's occlusion colon is just a fancy way of saying don't render things that are blocked from view by other things. To demonstrate how this works in Godot, I've set up both of these cubes with occlusion colon. Each mesh has an occluder instance 3D node on it, and it's exactly the same size as the mesh. If I hide the visuals for this mesh, but we go behind its occluder object, we can see that the other one isn't drawn. That's occlusion culling in a nutshell. I've been putting off setting up occlusion culling in my own game for a long time because painstakingly going through my entire map and creating all these occlusion objects just seemed like a massive pain. But lucky for me, I'm using Quodo, which is a plugin for making maps in Godot, and back in December they added this handy dandy checkbox that generates all the occluders for me. Now whenever I update a level, I just have to click this build button and all the occluders will automatically get generated. Only problem is there's this weird bug where sometimes things get occluded that shouldn't, like right here, and a million other places that playtesters reported. This really breaks immersion, so I wanted to fix this as soon as possible. I started looking into it, and yeah, it's a bug with Godot. I ended up working around this bug by modifying Quodo to add an extra cull margin to all my map geometry. But this will now make it so a bunch of stuff that should be culled won't be culled. It's also just super jank to modify a plugin like this. Luckily, the Godot devs have a fix for this in mind, and I'm hoping it shows up in Godot 4.3 or 4.4.
That's cute.
direction. Regardless, adding occlusion culling improved my frame rate by a whopping 50 frames per second in certain areas. Alright, we're off to a pretty good start, and now on to the next optimization. Fake lighting is a lighting technique where you basically pre-calculate all the lighting on all the surfaces of your game and save all that lighting information to a file so it doesn't have to be calculated in real time when the player is playing the game. This is awesome because we can make all the lighting super realistic and beautiful with very little performance impact.
So we'd made it over the invisible wall. For session 3, the only goal was to just fully execute the glitch. It has been a good while now, and yeah, at least a week. On our last session, we got the first invisible wall clearance, so that was a big chunk of progress. The chair is so squeaky, I hate it. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's been a week or so since my last stream, and I actually deleted. How does this work? I actually deleted the last one because. Where? So it has like old school.